I hate to say it, I'm not mad, or I'm actually kind of excited. I'm looking forward to this for some reason. It's really strange. For as much as I complain about the game and the requirements, this is something. All right, we're gonna read the requirements. It's over the top, challenging. Cash on Camino. But this right here, we got the ETA fighter. We've got Kenobi versus the droids. And we've got Asajj right there versus Anakin and the 501st clones. So it looks like we're gonna have to use Asajj versus Anakin in the final battle. And let's just go over this right here because there's a ton of stuff. And I don't know about you, but this is exciting to me. I mean, I really like the Padme team currently the way it is. And if this, General Skywalker brings on a new meta that is not Revan, I would be pretty excited about that too. Starting October 11th, that is actually quite a bit more time than we had before. Before, it was like a day and a half. We're getting 4 days. So I think a lot of people like me, I'm 3 characters short, and I think I'll be able to wail hard and get the requirements. And I'm not mad because all 3 characters that I'm short on, just me personally, are characters that I wanted to develop anyways. So it is what it is. Starting October 11th, relive the Clone Wars and earn shards of General Skywalker in the epic confrontation. Cash on Camino. I don't think I'm going to be able to say Clash on Camino. Cash on Camino. This is a whaley event. I don't know if it's necessarily a whaley event. And I mean, I think it's going to be whaley for me because I'm going to have to go hard on Shaak Ti to get her up and running. But this is really more a veteran event. Like, I don't see people that have just started playing the game being able to get to this event very easily because of all the numerous levels of requirements. General Kenobi's raid character, Padme, and C-3PO are legendaries, so they each had 5 characters apiece. The level of characters required to finish this event is never been done before. But if you're a veteran player and you've been playing a long time, I think people have most of these characters. Take to the skies in the Separatist fleet as they attempt to distract General Skywalker from the invasion on Camino. Once the space battle has concluded, head to Tipica City to assist General Kenobi in his fight against General Grievous and the Droid Army. So the first battle is going to be against Grievous and the Droid Army. Then join General Skywalker in taking on a familiar foe, finally allying yourself with the Separatists and dealing with the one last obstacle mission, General Skywalker and his 501st clones. And what that means to me is it's going to be Asajj and the Separatist droids versus the new Skywalker and the clones. So I think this is where a lot of people are going to be out right here. This is probably the first choke point for a lot of people. Anakin's ETA Starfighter with a 7-star 40,000 GP requirement. I don't think a lot of people have that. I do. I've gone hard in ships lately, so I'm ready to go. Galactic Republic capital ship, which is going to be Mace. As far as I know, nobody has a 7-star or even a 6-star negotiator. So that makes me wonder if this is going to be extremely difficult, but the next time around when people actually have Kenobi's negotiator, because that ship is much better than Mace's ship, way better, we'll see. At least 3 other Galactic Republic ships, so there's several. I think the common ones there would be Plo, Fives, Ahsoka. Tier 2, Ahsoka Tano, free-to-play, C-3PO, legendary character, General Kenobi raid character, Padme Amidala, legendary character. The event's been around twice. It was a lot easier the second time. I don't think a lot of people have the 7-star, but if you do, you're in luck. And then Shaak Ti recently was a marquee, so this is something that I was not able to get all the way to 7 stars free to play, so I'm going to have to wail out on that, and I'm okay with that. And this is the reason why I'm okay with that, is Shaak Ti lead with the 3 501sts, and Barriss is a good team right now. And I want to use her as a lead right now because that's a fun team to play against. It holds well on defense. Other than Malik and the Sith Empire and Padme, there's not a lot of teams that can beat it easily. It's a good defensive team. I know a lot of people said that you could solo Malik. I've tested that quite a bit. Shaak Ti and the clones with Barriss. Maybe I didn't mod it correctly. I've tested it on 2 separate occasions. I could not get that to work. I know Arnold streamed that today and it did not work for him. Tier 3. Oh, we'll have to see here. All units are needed to temporarily given to you in the battle. So we're going to see what that encounter is. We're going to see how challenging that is. And then tier 4 is going to be Asajj Ventress, which I believe is kind of a staple nowadays as a leadership with the Night Sisters. And then we've got the 4 battle droids right there. And the problem I have with a little bit of that is Droideka hasn't been that important. And to get to that 17,700 GP, that's deep into gear 12. So I've got Droideka and Magna Guard at gear 11. Taking them to 17.7 is going to require some of the G12, maybe up to G12.5 to get that work. Although those pieces seem to be coming along a little bit easier. Stay tuned to the forums this week for information on General Skywalker's kits, and I welcome that. Now, I just want to vent a little bit right here. There's 2 characters in the game that I fundamentally have a problem with, and that is Nest and Malik. When a new team comes out, the first question I ask is, how would this team do against Nest? And if they can't defeat a solo Nest, what does that mean? How does one character be that important that you have to answer that question? And then Malik was just an exponential version of that same question. There's very few teams that can beat a solo Malik. And I just think that is kind of wrong, that we've got 170 plus characters in this game, and one single character is 3 or 4 times better than most characters in this game. It could be 50 versus Malik, and Malik would certainly win. I know that there's 50 characters I could put onto one team, and a 50 versus 1 situation, Malik would still win. And the same thing is true for Nest. I just don't think that is good gameplay mechanics. It certainly seems unfun. Let's take a look at some of the characters, and I'm okay with this because largely these are characters I was working on and I wanted to get up myself. Kind of talked about this a little bit. Magna Guard and Droideka, they're going to have to go to at least 12.5, I believe, to get to 17.7. Maybe a little bit more right here to get him to going. And it has to do with the number of abilities right there. Will make the power levels higher. So it's going to be a little bit more work on the Droideka to get him to 75 now. Shock T, my goodness. I'm going to have to wail. And it's just like, this is going to cost hundreds of dollars, guys, to gear her up. I mean, there is tons of these cryotechs. I've already gone through one wall of them, and now there's 2 more walls right here in the gear 9. She's just loaded up with these guys. Boy, it's expensive just gearing her up, let alone getting the 130 more shards that I'm just going to have to farm over the next 4 days. And hopefully the event is a week long so that we have at least a week long to play it. No word on how long the event's going to be, but we will see. So Shock T's there now. The rest of the characters, I mean, I really think this is going to come down to a have and have not, and I think it mostly is going to have to do with veteran players versus non-veteran players, because just to acquire all these characters, it means you've had to play the game for a long time. Padme was legendary. No problems there getting her above 17.7 if you put the Zetas on her. She's very useful. Like I said, all of these characters, I believe, are useful characters altogether. General Kenobi's been around forever and a day, raid character with the heroic AAT raid. I would think that most people that have been playing the game for any period of time have General Kenobi. No worries for me investing resources in him. Always a solid character. Snips. She's doing double time service right now. Don't have a problem gearing her up at all because I can use her ship and as well as her character right now in both arenas as well as Grand Arena. Like I said, no hatage there. I mean, none of these characters are unnecessary, useless characters. Asajj lead is dominant right now with the Night Sisters. Again, no problems with that. And then the rest of the Separatist droids pair so well with Grievous. They're just a vital part of the game. So as far as the requirements, I personally don't have a problem suggesting anybody develop out these characters and give them above 17.7. Even if you can't do it the first time around, you start working on it today so that you get it the second time around. And the only one that is truly gated behind a paywall currently for the first time around is Shock T. The rest of the characters, I believe, could have gotten this completely free to play. And I believe if with proper planning and saving of crystals, probably this entire event could have been done free to play if someone had really focused on Shock T and getting her high up. I mean, I think it is possible. So I can't hate on this. Hopefully the event is not beyond insane difficult to the level where it's frustrating and it takes 6 hours plus to complete. I don't mind if it's challenging or requires thinking about something that is purely RNG dependent. And then even if I meet the requirements, really, it's like, really, it wasn't 17.7 it's just 17.7 to enter the event, but it's really 25,000 to actually beat the event easily. We'll see. Jury's out on that. But overall, I'm excited. I'm going to wail hard on Shock T. I'm just going to do it. I don't want to be without. I was without Malik, and as a content creator, I mean, that was just unfun. I know Arnold was without Jedi Knight Revan the first time, and I think he said, I'm never doing that again. And then with Malik, I happened to be out of town during that event, and so I just didn't do it until the second time around, and I don't want to go through that again. And as a content creator, I have different motivations than an individual player. If you're just playing this game casually, I would not sweat not getting this. This is insanely hard. This is beyond bonkers right here. This is going to be for extreme whales and veteran players for the first time around. And there's absolutely zero shame in getting this character the second or third time around because they've made it insanely challenging. All right. What are your comments about this? Looks like Reddit's on fire, and I get it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.